So let's give, yeah, we know. So let's give everybody some little house rules, real simple, please, as the host and our guests are chatting, just keep your mics muted, because it could be anything going on in the background. And so I'm gonna also, even the rest of us, if we're not being spoken to, then we probably should push mute so that we can minimize the noise. But I'm gonna let Princess have it. That was my little house rule.
All right, so we're gonna get started. So our lovely, panelists can, dive into their stories. So first we have Miss Tiffany Freeman. She's at the top. Y'all see her. I'm gonna let her tell a little bit about herself and then we have Mr. Jaden Blakely. These two are very experienced in the BGV world. They've been doing this for a long time. They've sung for artists that many of us have grown to love and would love to work with in our careers. So I want them to just dive in. We want this conversation tonight to be really raw, authentic, and just give you the real in and outs about the BGV world, how we get started. A lot of you always have questions about how to get a foot in the door, how to get jobs, how do I get started in this career? And we are here to glean tonight. We are here to absorb information and just to get inspiration. That more than anything, I want us to be inspired. I want us to be motivated and just soak in all the knowledge that we can, okay? So without further ado, Miss Tiffany, I'm gonna let you go, ladies first. Let's just dive in. Tell us who you are. What have you done in your career?
Hey y'all. So can y'all hear me? Okay. So this can be. Hello.
Yeah.
When you come in, guys, let's mute your
Yeah,
mic.
that's what I said. And see,
Tiffany
these boxes at a whole party.
Okay. So hey guys, I'm Tiffany. About myself, I'm from New York. I moved to LA. I recently just relocated back to the East Coast. I just got married, so I'm back in, not back in New York, but I'm back on the East. I live in Massachusetts now. I've been singing background since I was 14 years old. My first gig or my first job was with Miss Kiara Sheard when she first came out. And then over time I progressed, started singing with her mom when I got to, I was in high school when I sang with Kiki, but like when I was about 15, 16, I started traveling with her mom, and then it kind of just grew from there. Are you guys gonna be like asking questions and then I respond? Is it gonna be like that, or is it just like me? Sorry.
I do want everybody, if you have questions, you can feel free.
No, I mean, you guys, is it gonna be like?
It's a little bit of both. You do
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing.
Oh yeah. You're good.
And so, yeah, I have experience with gospel, with pop, with R&B, with hip hop, on stage, in the studio. So yeah, that's really, I've worked with some of our industry's best, some of our industry's not so best. I work with people who pay you in chicken sandwiches. I've worked with people who pay you in really big checks. I've worked with people who pay you an opportunity and say, thanks for coming, see you next time. So I can kind of gauge, like, if you guys have questions, depending on, what thing, I can most likely answer.
That's good for now. I just wanted you to introduce yourself really quick, and then we're gonna dive into all the good stuff.
That's what I was like, okay.
Yeah, like you already gave. Look, you get ready to give us a little tea. I love it. We're ready. We're ready
I'm
for
going
it.
on mute. I'm going on mute.
All right, that's Miss Tiffany Freeman. Now we're gonna go to Jaden. Jaden, tell us a little spiel about who you are. What are you, what are you currently doing? What have you done in your career? Little spiel.
Can y'all hear me good? Ooh, God, I thank you. Ooh, ah. Sorry, I got that from Tiffany. Every time I see her, I got to do it. I'm so sorry. What's up, guys? I'm Jaden. I'm sorry. I'm Jaden Gray. I live in California, currently LA to be exact. I'm from Compton, so I think with me saying that alone, you know that there's a musical background instantly, because Compton has some of the greatest. But yeah, I'm from Compton, raised in the church, born in church, did church, still in church, love church, all of it, because that's just my heart, okay? That's where my heart is. But at the age of 15, I would say 15 and a half or so, 16, I sang at my grandmother's birthday party, did a little video, never really post stuff like that, but did it, posted it, and a person from a network hit a friend of my brother's and was like, yo, it will be fire for your brother to be on a TV show. I'd never done anything like that. I'm 15 years old, so I didn't really have the understanding. I didn't have the knowledge. I was kind of being thrown into it. And we kind of thought it was fake, if I'm being completely honest. So to give you a quick story, I'm not going to tell you the whole thing because it's long. It's really long, but a quick story. When I got the call to do that, when they saw the video, the person from the whatever, I guess you would say ABC, when they saw the video, they reached out. They told me that they wanted me to come audition. The day that they told me they wanted me to audition, I was going to Vegas for my birthday, 16 years old. Who goes to Vegas for their 16-year-old birthday? That's crazy, but hello. Anyway, going to Vegas, and as soon as I got off the freeway, I promise you, as soon as I got off, they said, okay, we want you to come audition right now. And I was saying that's impossible. I'm in Vegas. You guys want me to be in LA right now. It's not going to work. I also don't know if this is real because I've never done anything like this. Fast forwarding, I ended up doing it, did the audition, made it to the show. Didn't make the band. It was called Boy Band. It was to find the world's next big band. Didn't make the band. However, I made it to the last episode, which was the top 9. And in that experience, I gained so much knowledge. In that experience, I was able to understand so much, and it was only 10 weeks. Did that. After that, I was in a group called Fourth Ave. That lasted about a year to 2. Because we just formed our own band. We didn't make it, so it was easy. Figure it out. That was put together by Timbaland and Adam Blackstone. From there, left the group and went into Sunday service because of Miss Tiffany Stevenson. She was the reason. We love her for that. And that, I would say, that's when this thing really jumped off. This BGV, this career, this industry, it really started then. So yeah, I still sing. I still sing for many artists. I'm currently a supporting vocalist for the artist Her. We just got off tour, world tour, end of last year. And yeah, I'm also doing my own thing. I'm also putting my own music out. I'm also pursuing this solo career while doing the BGV work, because I desire to do both. Sometimes if I'm being real, we'll get into it later, but if I'm being real, sometimes you got to do the BGV work to support the solo work. Sometimes that's what it really is. Not for everybody, but in some cases that's it. And that's what it is for me. So I'm still doing it and I'm loving every second of it. So yeah, I'm sure we'll dive into the meat and potatoes of it, but that's just a brief overview as to who I am, what I do. And what I love. I do pop right now, pop R&B for my own music. Hey.
Get my mic off you. We love that. And Tiffany was real. She was real like, who are you? Who did you just come off of tour with, Miss Tiffany? For the ones that don't know.
Well, nah, I just finished touring with the great Miss Jasmine Sullivan.
Yes.
Singing alto because I'm an alto.
And Jaden is actually, I didn't know this until recently that Jaden is doing alto with her. I always thought that you were doing tenor.
So her has 4 singers, Gabriella, because she goes by that now. She has 4 singers, and I'm alto and tenor because of the fact that the tenor is really a bass and a tenor. So we both fluctuate. We go back and forth. When he drops down, I drop down. It's, you guys get that. But majority of the time, I'm singing alto with my other fellow alto. And Jesus Christ, that thing is high, huh?
But you sing my part. So we bless.
We bless.
You sing all the parts.
Hallelujah.
And
I try.
We have the comments. Rashad said Tiffany is definitely a soprano and is.
And for sure.
And somebody said, who said that? And Tiffany sang down with Jasmine. Dominic Green said that. So yeah, the people they are guys are well known. So when it comes to touring with these big artists, can you give us some insight on what that tour life is like? A lot of us, including myself, have never been on tour. That's one of my goals, just to go on a tour. I just want to do one, and then I think I'll be done. Like, I feel like I've done a lot of things that I've wanted to do, but that's just one of the things I haven't gotten a chance to do yet. But when it comes to tour life, especially on world tours, how do you prepare to go on a tour?
Either one of y'all.
I would say for me, I start mentally preparing because I'm about to be gone for many days, many weeks, many months. So I have to process that I'm about to be in foreign land, whether it's like in another city in the States or in another country somewhere. And then I have to consider, do I want to pack a lot of clothes and come back with more than what I came with? Or do I want to pack just enough and give myself room to buy things they don't sell in the States? So when people say, where did you get that from? It was a gift. Make room in this suitcase, because I just left. I was in Amsterdam for like a week. I just came home yesterday. I went in that airport, and I swear, I feel like this was a trick. As soon as you go down the escalator to go to like whatever your gate is, the Gucci store is literally at the bottom of the escalator. I said, since you begging me. So luckily I had the space, amen. But yeah, so it starts mental, then I consider like how much baggage I'm bringing. And then, yeah, I think the rest is pretty regular, because it's like I'm doing the same thing that I would do at home, just a lot, like every day almost. And to sometimes people who don't understand English, and music is that universal language that everybody can kind of feel and understand. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Jaden, what type of advice would you give someone that wants to just like get their foot in the door as far as being a background vocalist and taking jobs that we consider for exposure? Those exposure gigs when you don't really have a resume, you don't really have anything under your belt. Would you advise people to take exposure gigs?
I would. And I say I would to an extent. And by that, I mean, when you do exposure gigs, majority of the time, how I view an exposure gig is, I'm going to do this gig to get my name out there. I'm going to do this gig just so I can get some eyes on me, so I can get some people to hear my voice, so I can get some people to possibly buy my music. I have to sell them on this show. Majority of the time when you do those gigs, you aren't going and getting paid. Majority of the time. Sometimes you will. If it's an exposure gig, sometimes it's just like, hey, we have this lineup and we would love for you to be on it. And we're going to have these people in the room. It will be great for you. It will be cool for us because we can get some people in the room because of your name. cool. Usually that's what it is. Sometimes they'll break you off. I'm gonna be real. But oftentimes, at least with myself, can't speak for everyone. It has been that. Now, when I say to an extent, I say that because at some point you have to know when it's time to cut that off. You have to know when it's time to say, okay, I've done enough exposure gigs. Now it's time to get into, this is my rate. And I know that I can charge this because of the things that I've done. I know that I can charge this because of what I bring to the table. And it doesn't even have to be the things that you've done. You can know your worth and walk into that room and say, I know that I bring this to the table. And I know that if you were to take me out of this situation, you would have to find a lot of people to do X, Y, and Z. And that's not saying that that individual is the best at all of this. It's not saying that. It's just understanding. It's knowing your worth. It's knowing what you bring to the table. And I had to recently really understand what I bring to the table. And yeah, so to answer that question, I'm sure we'll get into the rest later, but to answer that question, I do strongly advise people to take exposure gigs, but know when to cut it off. Know when to say, it's been enough of the exposure gig. Every gig, every show, of course, more eyes will come. They'll attract to you. That's a given. You know, hopefully you get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 50 or 1,000. Fire. However, you know when it's just an exposure gig that's, you know, it's just a little, and that means it's just a little, all right, this was fun.
Right.
You know, so yeah, take them, but know when it's time to move on to I would love to do this show, but this is my rate and this is what I need before I commit and say yes.
That is so good. That's really good. I literally thought about that this week as we were preparing for this conversation. And I feel like a lot of people are just fearful. I get a lot of questions about rates all the time, even from, you know, experienced BGVs. Like they are literally scared and afraid to tell people their rate. And I want both of you guys to kind of like, you know, go in on this. When it comes to your rates.
Before we go there,
Mhm.
before we go into rate, let me say this really quickly, just to add to what Jaden just said. It's really important to know that exposure gigs don't stop. You have to know, just because you've done a whole lot of things, you have to know when those opportunities are your opportunities. You know, I'm sure I don't even know. I mean, this is a frontline artist and this is somebody that's, you know, an artist, but I'm sure no one's trying to figure out how much they're going to get paid from, you know, Super Bowl. Super Bowl don't pay nobody, but that's the biggest exposure gig that you ever gonna do in your life. You know what I'm saying? Both, even if they weren't, anyone there wasn't compensated. I just put this on my resume. You know, just say for instance, you were doing background like Nelson and Ash, and you know, if you were in their shoes, if someone said to you, would you like to do, you know, the Super Bowl? Well, how much is it paying you on that stage with this uniform on? You know, you got to know it doesn't stop is what I'm saying. I just wanted to insert that. Like, it's not like, okay, a 10-year thing. Like I started and now this is what I charge. You do grow in your brand, but know when to say yes to the dream. Okay, yes.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And while we were on the Super Bowl, Tiffany and Jaden were both on the Super Bowl, guys. Congratulations on that.
And since we are here,
definitely
I would love to add one more. Since we are here, back to what you guys were saying, I 100% agree, because you have to think about, yes, they didn't get paid, but all the people that saw them, and now they're saying, wow, who is this? Let me go get their music. Wow, who is this? I need to follow them because of X, Y, and Z. They just did a phenomenal show. So just to add on to it, I completely agree. You have to know which ones are for you and which ones are not. I agree.
See, read what Nicole said, P. Did you see that?
Yes, she said, I just lent my BGVs to a friend's song and it was for free. It was for fun and I didn't think much of it. Now freaking Snoop Dogg just remixed I don't know what BFU song and my voice is on the track with Snoop. That's now you can put that on your resume. It's And my thought about exposure gigs this week was also you can choose, you can pick and choose what you expose your gift to as well. I feel like some things, like for me, and for instance, when I first started out, I was taking stuff for content purposes. I just needed to put the content on my page so that people can see, like, this is what I do, this is what I sound like with other people, this is what my blend is. That's that. And that's another way. You can also use these things not just to say I sung with this person, but use it for your page, your content, because content is a lot of ways that we get jobs as well. People go to your page and they need a soprano in Timbuktu and they can't find anybody, and they just go to your page and they see, you know. So take that into consideration as well. That exposure doesn't always mean I can put something on my resume. It can also, you can also put it on your social media, and that is your resume as well. So I was leading into the rate question. And both of you guys can go into the beans on this. When it comes to advising people about putting a number on their worth, and I say that, like, you know, very sensitive. I don't want to put you guys in the position where you have to feel like I could only charge somebody $50 because I have never sung for anybody before. What you bring to the table is your worth. So how would you advise somebody that's just starting out? They haven't done as much as you guys, but they, you know, they are consistent in what they offer. How would you advise them on, you know, getting into that rate conversation?
It's Jaden in this little hand, this little go ahead hand. I could use you as an example, because I've had to fuss at Jaden, like, bro, no, that's not acceptable. Like, the thing is that a lot of times it's like when you get a residual check and it's like 83 cents, but you have to deposit it or they'll send it to you again, because like it's your money. But I'm like, it costs more to print all of the things on the paper, put it in the mail and send it to me at 83 cents. All of that to say, if you put out so much more than you're getting back, I feel like at that point, it's not even like, exposure is cool. Like, I understand that. And I totally agree 100% with what both of y'all said. But when you start to have to like really come out of pocket for stuff, like when I gotta wear a certain thing, like what I have in my closet is not good enough. Like what I already have, I can't even wear because you looking for a certain aesthetic or whatever. Now I gotta go shopping, right? And then like now if my hair is a certain way when I came to rehearsal, but that's not the look for the show, now I'm basically wasting money because I have to redo my look to appease whatever the aesthetic is for the show. Then not to consider gas, I may not eat. You may not be feeding me. You may just tell me come as you are and just be right. You know what I'm saying? So I think those are things that should be considered when you start to think about how stuff starts to add up. And eventually it's like the opportunity is amazing, but you still want to feel like I'm leaving here with something that makes me feel like not only was my voice appreciated, but my time and my effort in being here was appreciated too. So it don't have to be no crazy number, but I need something. Like I read a post today that said, I don't pay musicians for their talent. I honor my musicians for their time and for their service. And I think that it's not always about getting paid, but just to know, like, just for somebody to know that like I took the time out of whatever I'm doing to support you and to build you up and to make you look good, the least that you could do is make sure that, like, if my ride left me, I could at least get in the Uber to go home. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like small little things. But I think that, like, starting off with like 150, just to, you know, it's something in your pocket, you know, for the time being, 150, 175, like, and I always tell people, like, start at the max. You get what you negotiate at the end of the day. So, like, if you need $500 and they say, well, I can't do 5, but I can do 2. So thank you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I'll take it. Now, it's some people that be like, I can pay you, but I can't do it right now. Like, they make you, you know, you kind of got to wait. And then those people, you see them shopping and on vacation. Then that's a whole different story. Like, you owe me money and I'm not chasing you for $150. At that point, then you should know I'm okay. Don't call me again. I'm so glad. Thank you. I'm so nice to have met you. Nice to have worked with you. But leave me alone after that.
And I think that's happened to just about everybody in the business, at least once.
Right.
Don't call me no more. Get somebody else to do it.
Get somebody else to do it.
Get somebody. Look, it's people over there.
What about you, Jay? What is your spiel on, because like Tiffany said, you had your own personal struggle. How did you maneuver through that? Getting the confidence to tell people, like, this is my rate. This is what I know I'm gonna bring to, because we all know Jaden gonna bring it. So how did you gain your confidence in yourself to be able to tell people, like, this is what it is?
If I'm being very honest with you guys, it took some time, and Tiffany can tell you, because I would put her and Nelson Beto in text threads day and night. Like, y'all, do y'all think this makes sense? Before I do this gig or this show or this tour, does this make sense? Should I say yes? It took time. And it really took a lot of back and forth with myself. And not that I didn't feel I was worth it, not even that. It just, when you are, when you are newer to something, not necessarily just new, but when you're newer to something, sometimes it's, you ask yourself, well, should I bring it down just a little bit because I've only done this once or twice? Sometimes you ask yourself, do they think that I'll be worth this amount? But the more and more that I begin to talk to Tiffany and Nelson, the more and more that I begin to ask them questions, and the longer and longer that I begin to do what it is that I do, I begin to see what it is that I brought. And there's a specific moment in time where I was doing a show and there were multiple background singers, and I lost my voice completely. I mean, lost it. It was out. And the other background singers, there was quite a few of them, enough to hold. The other background singers had to carry. And when I heard, and this is with all love, but when I heard the difference, and I'm being very real with everyone, when I heard the difference, when I had to pull out, I realized then what it is that I brought. So when I realized what it was that I brought, I said, well, this amount makes sense. This number that I'm bringing to you, it makes sense, because now I hear it, I see it. It only adds up. And you, I think over time, you really begin to see your worth. You can go in and know your worth. You know it, right? But I think you really begin to see it. Sometimes you really begin to hear it over time, and you're like, whoa, I didn't know that I did all that. I didn't even know that I held this, but I know that you hold this part and I don't know hold this, but I didn't know that I did this until you have to remove yourself, or until you're pulled out for a second for a full show, So I think when it came to the confidence, it just took time. It took me really understanding the business. It took me really understanding how these rates work. And that was a lot of me asking my friends that have been doing this. And I feel perfectly fine with telling people that, because a lot of people say they don't want to ask their friends because they don't want people to know that they don't have the knowledge on this, or they don't want people to know what they're about to get paid. Not me. I'm the person that's going to go ask the person that is experienced. I'm the person that's going to go have a full conversation or a full phone call. about this thing that's going on with me. What do I do? How do I handle this? Give me some tips. How did you handle your first boom, boom, boom? And that's kind of what it was for a good, I would say, Tiff can tell you, for a good six to 8 months, it was that. And this was in the midst of me working. That's the thing. I was doing it. I was already doing it. But I went back 2 times. And each time I said, this is what we should be getting paid. I should be getting paid. I'm gonna speak for myself. And it didn't happen. And I went back a second time and I stood my ground. Like I said, this is it. Because at that point I knew what my worth was. And I also, and this is with all love and respect, but in that moment, I'm gonna be very real with everybody here. In that moment, I said, I can leave right now and go back and do work right now. And that's with respect though. That's not me saying like, I just got all the gigs in the world. It's not that, because I don't. I'm still out here working, I'm still out here moving, trying to make a name for myself. But I knew what I brought. So I said, I can remove myself from this situation right now, but this is my worth and this is with love and respect. So I'll give you time to think about it, but not too much time. Don't take your precious time. Let's move on it, you know? And they did. And honestly, everything has been insanely smooth since then. With that specific gig. It's a few gigs that happen at the same time, but with that specific gig, everything has been smooth. So gaining confidence, it takes time, but when you get it, and you rock with it. You stand your ground every single time. You don't budge.
Let me say this really quickly too. I think that as singers, especially a lot of us come from church. So we come from a place where we are not taught that singing is a actual job and that you as a background vocalist are a business. And so when you're not thinking about yourself as a business, it's really hard for you to see the value in actually measuring what it is that you're worth, because we're just taught, go ahead and you're doing it for God. And you know, you got to get up there and give your gift back to God. And then don't let you be singing, you know, you're singing in the world. So you got
worldly music.
It's a dichotomy. It's really just something. It's hard to sometimes see yourself and the worth that you bring to situations when you have been primed to think that it's you're giving of your service. And so I think the first thing, whenever you're dealing with anything, you have to know that you are a background singer who is a business. You are a business. It's not, and let me tell you something, when it comes tax time, and when it comes time for us to get another PPP loan, y'all won't be doing it illegally. And because you're going to have a real business, it's going to be intact, and you're going to have things in place for what it is that, because you understand this. You understand what I'm saying? I just wanted to make sure that I gave that part of it. We have to get out of trying to, you don't go, I mean, we might see a pair of shoes and be like, hey, pay $150 for these, you know, when you go buy something, but that brand has decided this ain't no boutique where you going to negotiate a price. No, the brand has decided how much these things are worth. And so you have to decide that. And of course, we're getting markets matter, cities where you are, the average, all of those things matter. But with Tiff and Jaden, what's so rich about this conversation is both of them have, like Tiff, been doing it much longer. And when you can help someone who's coming into it to understand their value, that's what all of this is about. You know, just having a full spectrum of different people with different experiences and just learning. Because at this point, we don't have a template. That's what TeamBGV is building. We're trying to build a place that's safe for us to say, no, yeah, we're going to, as soon as they send you that contract, you send them your contract. This is how much you said we doing this, you know. So someone asked that question. It's like, do you agree upon it beforehand? Like, how does this work? Well, we have to legitimize the process. The same way that they have a process, we have to have a process too. And everybody has to jump on board with what that looks like. I just had to insert that. I had to say that.
And I love what Jaden, what you did for yourself. It just tells me that there is power in making up your mind about what you are willing to take. And once you make that decision for yourself, those bigger opportunities and those okay, let's pay him more, those yeses come. Because what else are you gonna do? You at the end of the day, it sounds so egotistical, but sometimes you are needed, and that's just what it is. Like when you have the sauce, when you have that main ingredient for that sauce, the sauce not gonna taste the same without that main ingredient.
I know that's right.
So you need this on there. And so once you have that confidence boost, use that. So that I loved that part. Tempest, she said one thing that is resonating right now is the fact that Tiffany and Jaden have people they can go to directly for advice, instruction, and suggestions, mentorship. This is just one of the areas I tend to lack, or sometimes not really knowing how to even approach receiving the information. I figured out a lot on my own, but I always try to pay it forward now that I've gained some experience and knowledge. And let me tell you, a lot of us out here gain this knowledge on our own, which is why I was inspired to make Team BGV and make spaces like this for us. I really appreciate Tiffany and Jaden for, when I asked them, it was like not even a thought. They were like, oh yeah, just tell me when. And I appreciate the experienced veterans like that, because they don't have to give their time to people like, in the situations that, we haven't really done.
We can't hear you, P.
And you got muted.
My bad. I'm sorry. I was just giving my love and appreciation to you and Jaden, because you guys are amazing for doing this. It's not a lot of people that will do. Who's that? Somebody trying to give us a concert? I want to open up the floor to people. If you have questions, I want to do this one. I'm trying to do as organized as possible, but one person at a time. If you want to unmute your mic and ask them a question.
Why don't you guys raise your hand in the chat and we'll call you, so you guys can come in and organize everybody going, especially with the noise cancellation, because somebody could be talking and we never get to you. So put like a number, put a church finger up in
right. Okay. Right. Anybody have a question so far? There was something I was gonna. I was
just ask something. Melody, if you are a singer with little to no industry connections, what's the best way to get started? I literally just had this conversation today. I would say expose yourself, and not meaning like get undressed and be ridiculous, but like people can't hire you or know that you sing if you don't sing. Like go visit your local open mics and all of your jam sessions and all of those things. And now Instagram and social media is such a tool for, people looking for singers and stuff like that. It's not enough to just put in your bio, artist, singer, and you got pictures of mountains and hills and animals, and like, I can't take your word for it. I don't know what part you sing. I don't know if you're good. I don't know if you qualify for whatever it is I'm looking for. So I think that until you basically put yourself out there and sell yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like show everybody what it is that you bring to the table. You won't really know how to navigate that. And then like that's a part of networking too, right? So like you go somewhere, you meet a musician or you meet another singer, y'all now can exchange. Well, I know this person can do whatever. Oh, this guy I know is having a jam session. Let's go there. And then like your Rolodex is now starting to build, and like now people consider you for, Lizzo is doing the choir on the Grammys. Can you come and just sing whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like it's all a matter of positioning yourself to be seen and to be heard, basically.
And Tiff, then you were one of the contractors for the Lizzo thing, right?
No.
Or was it Jaden? It was one of y'all.
I was, yeah.
Jaden, I knew it was one of y'all. Okay, so jumping into just piggybacking off of what Tiff said, and Tiff, you can jump in because I know you contract as well. When you guys look for singers, because they don't only sing, they also contract singers. So Another reason why we're in this space, so you guys can show your faces, you know, all that good stuff, because they do look for singers. When you guys look for singers, what do you look for? And give us the qualities, not only just the person, but when you go to their social medias, what are you looking to find? Tiffany already said she don't want to see no birds in the mountaintops. She want to see y'all singing.
Right, I want you to sing, but also like aesthetically, you know what I'm saying? Like Jason White will say, I need you to show up. I need you to be on. I need you to be on. Like when we had rehearsal for the Super Bowl, the girls came out there, hair pressed. I threw this wig on, baby. We had lashes, a lip, because we just don't know. You don't know who's in the room. You don't know who's around you. It's cameras going on. Like you don't know if they're using some of this footage for their social media pages, and you ain't trying to be looking like I just woke up. They said it was sound check. We not performing today, so it don't matter. Like, no, like you got to show up. You always got to present yourself the way you want people to like acknowledge that you are somebody. That's how you present yourself. Like, show up.
Sharp. I love that.
I love that. I remember I heard Latrice Pace say this a long time ago, that even when she goes in the airport, she's walking through the airport, she's on, like, because you never know who's in the airport or who's going to acknowledge your presence in the airport. Even little small things like that, sound checks, rehearsal, you know, just images is literally everything in this business as well.
P, let's hold on for a second. We got a few people that raised their hand, and
Okay.
I'm in the chat for hands, and y'all done got fancy, and I guess there's a way to raise your hand right at the bottom of the screen. So we got Raymond, Patricia, Naomi, Mr. Ricky. I'm sorry, I had to say it like that.
Mr. Ricky.
And is it Leia? Lai?
It's Lay.
I was about
Lay.
to say, Lay. We Black people so fancy. Okay, Lay. We're going to go in that order. So Raymond, what's your question? Let's go first. We have you go first.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. And thank you, Tiffany and Jaden, for the information that you're giving. It's extremely helpful. I really, really appreciate it. So I actually posted a question in the comment section, so I'll just use that one. But I was asking about like resumes and more so like when you're auditioning, like, is there like a particular process that you go through to do auditions? Are there like certain, like, do you have to present like a resume, or is it more so networking and getting to know people and they see your material on your website? Like, what's the way to kind of start getting into those spaces to where you're actually, you know, auditioning and being seen for things?
This little
P, anybody can answer that. Tiff?
I will say, from what I know about auditions, is resumes are not as important. They just want to hear you, they want to see you. But I know a lot of times, sometimes like auditions may not be like in the physical, where you line up outside and you, hi, my name is, hey, Miss Kelly Price. I'm from New York. Like some auditions are like, you literally just, I want to see you dressed in whatever and just send in a video of you singing. Like, and that's what I love about TeamBGV too. Like, not only do Princess Isa like post like, oh, in this city I need 5 sopranos, 1 tenor, well, like whatever the case, like definitely like pay attention to like the group and like people looking for stuff. But yeah, like your resume is cool. I'm not trying to downplay that, but I think people just care about what it is that, like, what can you do now? Like, where are you now? And how can we be of service to each other?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's really good. P, did you have anything else to say about that one? The resume?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I'm in full agreement. I've never had to pull out my resume, so.
I think when it comes to resumes, what was said earlier, like your there's a such thing as having a reel. If someone, you know, putting a collective of some short clips together in case somebody does ask, you know what I mean? But in most cases, if it's that informal, they're gonna go to your social media and they're gonna go, so that's your visual resume. So if you're thinking about branding yourself, and we talk about that in a guide that we're putting together to put out for you guys. A visual resume is really just where anything's published about you. You know, so it would be good for you to take your some of your social media clips and put them together. You know what I'm saying? And just make a collective reel that people can just go through and see. But everything they said, like once people know that you do what you do, they're gonna start just remembering that you do it, and they're gonna call you.
Thank you.
I will say this about the who's that?
I was saying thank you.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I will say this about the visual, before we move on to the next question. Make sure your visuals are not like dark and gloomy and there's like a whole bunch of stuff, trash in the background. Like make it presentable. And also don't have your pages private. There's so many times where I'm trying to look for singers and I go to your private pages and I'm like, I'm literally not about to send you a follower request. They have to wait to see if you're gonna follow. Just
Amen.
make sure,
Yes.
right, make sure, and we talked, I think Isa mentioned this in the group the other day, make sure we are very clear on what it is that you do. Like Tiff said earlier, what parts you sing. They had the highlights on Instagram now where you can put all your highlights up there. Just give us some good, clear, quality content. I'm always looking for stuff to post on TeamBGV's Instagram, and there's a lot of people that follow that page. Lots of people. Always looking for singers. So the way to put yourself out there is to put yourself out there and make sure your image is speaking just as loud as your voice.
Make sure you guys are following the Facebook group too, because
yeah,
the different platforms they just two different tones of platform. It's really highlighting everybody and it's entertaining. But the Facebook group, we're always posting stuff, that jobs in different cities and stuff like that. And we're working on our directory, Find My BGV, for you guys to have your own place to put all of this stuff that we'll be sending traffic to for you guys. But until then, the people are getting jobs inside the Facebook group. So make sure you guys join there and tell other people to join it as well. I can't remember the order. You remember Patricia was next.
Hi, Tiffany, I've been following you for a long time. I see you in person a lot with Gerald and Tammy, and saw you at Nissan's church with Kanye and everything. So I just appreciate and seeing you, Jaden, and as well as your brother. I just appreciate being able to see people work in excellence and the same people working in many different arenas. So I really appreciate seeing that. Thank you for the host for allowing this, because this is really helpful and this is amazing. So you kind of answered my question about the directory, bio, resume examples, because I think some of us need examples of what that looks like today's time, what they really want to see and what they don't want to see. We don't want to send in stuff to waste people's time, and create what we think they want to see, but they actually don't want to see that. So that's great. I also want to ask, though, how do you receive your income? Is it like under an LLC, or, you say this is a business, but how are you paid at your business? Is it, with the LLC or?
Jaden, Princess, Tiff, anybody?
Yeah. So me, I don't get paid as a business. I should, but I don't. But I want to say, y'all can help me if I'm wrong. You need you can get paid via your EIN, yes?
Yeah, you can. I was just getting ready to say that. You can literally, I've done it even prior to me being Princess the BGV. I've always worked under myself, And you can literally just go to the irs.gov, get you an EIN. You can literally do that now. Get you an EIN number, and every time somebody hires you, the W-9, give them that little form, fill it out. At the end of the year, you have all of those lined up, and then you'll get your tax information from whoever hired you. Now, a lot of us don't do that on every gig. A lot of gigs actually send their own forms for you to fill out. So I had so many different ones this year. But you can also do that yourself, and I think it's smart. That's going to be like another conversation, because we're going to do these more often. But the payment is going to help us all. Even a lot of us has been doing this for a long time. That we just been taking Zelle payments and stuff.
Cash App me.
Cash apps. That's just the real tea. That's the real tea when it comes to BGVs. But we're gonna get it together.
We have to get it together.
We have to.
I think the other thing too, Patricia, I think talking to a tax professional and someone, which we have masterclasses a lot on these things as well, but we're going to have some general like rule of thumb inside of the guide that we're doing. It's called the Ultimate BGV Guide. And it talks about the taxes. It talks about the different business formations, because someone giving you all of the benefits, like what I think might be the best for me personally, and forming a business may be different in what, like I was an S Corp, I've been an S Corp, and now I have like 4 LLCs. And so I've done sole proprietorship. I've had my, where I'm the only, person. You can do a single member LLC. So there's different ones that you can dive into. I think it's based upon you knowing your, the pros and cons of each and actually deciding for yourself. But the people are getting paid every day, balled up envelopes all the time. We getting cash. We're gonna take a cash. The problem with that is you don't have a paper trail. So when it's time for you to get these benefits and different things from anywhere, there's no way to prove. Even with they're legitimizing Cash App and PayPal. They done found out that everybody get paid, so that's why they're making it legitimate. But I think it's just a mindset shift. We all have to have grace with all of this, and to be honest, some of us are just picking it out. That trial and error. This worked. Nope, that didn't work for me. This is better for me. So, try different things, learn your options, and go with what you know. And if it works, amazing. If not, just there's always something else that you can do.
Okay. And just real quick, as a contractor, where do you look for background vocals? Is there a place that we should be to where a contractor would go and look?
Socials. I think it always falls back onto social media. Of course, at some point it becomes connection and who you know, and as I think Princess said, you begin to remember them, so you throw them in. But for the Lizzo gig or for the Lizzo contracting, it was so many singers. The singers that I was helping get, some of them were already called, and I'm like, okay, well, this singer's been called, so who else do I have? And that's when you result in social media. And social media goes back to everything that Tiff, Princess, and Isa said. Show us what you do. Show the people what it is that you do. Show them, show them what you bring. I think social media is your biggest tool. It's very powerful. So use it, because everybody's on it at all times. And that's the reality. Everybody's on Instagram, TikTok. Use it all the way. And if you feel you're annoying people by posting them a lot with your singing videos, great. That's what you should do. Annoy them to the point where they say, all right, I know he sings, so instantly I'm going to think of this person or this lady. Annoy them. Post videos every chance you get. And that could be something as simple as you doing a video in your room, or you doing a full show, or you doing your BGVs, whatever it may be. Post it. Use that social media platform, because a lot of people go to socials to find singers. A lot of people.
And then when you get the gig, kill it.
Kill it.
Kill it. Okay. That's all I can. When you get the gig, kill it. Because if you don't, you're killed.
I would like to add to that. I would like to add to that because something that I look for when I am contracting is I want you to be able to sing. I think that's the given. You should be able to sing. However, in addition to that, I look for the character. If I know that you are going to go to this gig and you're going to be late and you're not going to show up on time, you're not going to do what it is that they're requiring. If I know that this is going to happen, why would I put you in that position? And then that comes back on me, makes me look bad. That's like one of my biggest things. I oftentimes look for people that have that character that I know that they're gonna make the people want them. If you are going into a gig and you're not making this artist or this person want you, if you're not making them want to call you back, then check yourself in a few areas, because you should make them want you. You should make them need you in a way. Like, your character is such a major, major, major part. That's a part of killing it. Singing, yes, sing down. But when you walk in like you belong there, and give them what they're asking for. Be you in every space, in every case, but give them what they're asking for, and do it with love, do it with grace, and be happy about being there. Be grateful about being there, because a lot of people do these gigs and they are not grateful. A lot of people, and that's just the reality. There have been quite a few people that I've gotten gigs and will be like, man, you got me this gig, but I wanted that gig. What? How does that work? How does that make sense? Like, it makes no sense. So be grateful and kill it, as Princess says. But killing it, it's a lot of things that fall under killing it. It's not just the vocals. Kill the whole thing. Kill it.
Thank you.
Who had next? I can't remember.
Jaden, I didn't even know I was on mute. I've been. Hey, Jaden, the next time they say to you they wanted the other gig, you tell them, but you weren't working at all. Okay.
At all.
I called you.
Come on now, that ain't right.
And then be grateful and sing down. Okay.
Okay. Q, be grateful.
Can we go on to the dark side a little bit, just a tad? Because I want to give the people some real tea when it comes to, since we were on the payment thing. A lot of times the pay can be a little late. What do you and Tiffany, have y'all ever been in a situation? I'm only asking because I want to keep it raw, like I said in the beginning. Have y'all ever had to reach out for your money? And if you have, how do you go about doing that? What's like the language that you use? Because I know a lot of my BGV friends, they be like, well, frantic, and as they should, because it's your money that you work for. But I want to go into it. I want everybody to be able to go into it with wisdom that ever happened to them, right, so they won't burn bridges.
I knew Jaden was. So for me, early on, and my mom is on here, there was one particular artist who, there was one particular artist who let me go because she said I was flat. This said artist is not a singer, has never been a singer, will never be a singer, and told me I was flat. But I later found out it was like deeper than that. So whatever. Long story short, she was not going to pay me. And I think I was in Italy for like a month, and I couldn't really do like much of like the calling and the back and forth, like trying to figure out my money. I really didn't care about being let go because I know that I did my job well, and I knew it was some weird stuff going on, but my thing was like, just pay me. And it took my mom stepping in and pretending to be a lawyer for them to at least have some level of interest in whatever the situation was. But then my mom called the office one time, and the guy that answered the phone thought he hit mute, but he hit speaker, and told whoever was listening, that lady is calling here again. what do you want me to tell her? Like having a full conversation with somebody and she's on the phone listening the whole time. And she said she let the conversation happen. And then she was like, I know you don't have me on speakerphone. And she said she heard scrambling like, oh shoot, oh shoot. And then I ended up getting paid. I don't know what she said to them, but she probably prophesied to them. There have been many times. I think I get this from my father because my father's a musician. And when it comes to his money, he don't play. I've watched him shut the club down because they owe him $20. Ain't nobody leaving till I get my money, period. So now, like, I see like the games people like to play. I just had a situation recently where you asking me for all of my information. You need my bank stuff. You need my W-9, 6, 7, 8, 100, I-9, I this, I see you, I see that. You need all my paperwork. I send you everything, but my money is late. Hello, everybody else got paid except me. So per my last email, sis, where is it at? Oh, it's being processed. That was 2 weeks ago. How much processing you need? And what I don't like is that when it comes to like late payments, I'm expected to show up sure. I'm expected to show up on time, give 100%, know the music, know the part, look the part, all of those things. And when it comes to getting paid, it does, like, the energy is not the same. It's very lackluster. Like, and the thing is, like, y'all get paid differently, right? Y'all work in the office, so bi-weekly or whatever the case. Like, so y'all got the money. But what I never understand is how you knew this show was coming up. You knew you had to hire this amount of people. You knew they had to send invoices in and send in paperwork. You knew this had to be processed. Why not do this in advance? So now I am not being the big black, angry black woman. And I'm having to be very nice, nasty in the email. Or, and Jada could tell you, there's been times where I've hired him for something and everybody got paid and he hit me on the side like he didn't get his money. So now I'm like, oh no, we're gonna get you that money. If that's the last thing we do, we're gonna get you that money. So now I gotta pull up and be like, bro, like, y'all could play with don't play with him. And I think that's kind of how we like got closer, because I don't play about Jaden. Like, don't play, like, he's too dope for y'all to ever feel like, oh, we don't know him. We could just, no, the same level of excellence he had, he need that in the check and on time, because had he not delivered, y'all would have had an issue. So I had to really like pull up, like, I don't play with y'all. Don't play with me. And y'all need to send him his money, period. You got paid, Jaden? Did you get paid?
I got paid real good.
I don't play with people because I want people to play with me. Like, and when like my bills don't hear processed. My bills don't hear it's coming. No. So sometimes you really got, it's like you could be professional always. You ain't got to curse nobody out to like really like assert yourself, but people have to understand, like, this is how I eat. This is how I maintain a living. This is how I feed my kids. This is how I keep a roof over my head. I don't have time for y'all to be deciding when y'all want to keep it professional and when y'all want to play games. No. So I need my money when I'm supposed to have it. When it says due by on my invoice, that's when I need my money. Because truth be told, if it's late, you owe me extra.
That's what it is.
And the thing is, y'all are okay with bare minimum when it comes to paying. But let me not show up on time for sound check or be late to lobby call. And now I gotta buy my own flight home or get myself to the next city. That's not okay. So I think the same standard that these people hold us to be professional and all of that, the same standard that they hold us to with that, you have to hold them accountable when it comes to you getting paid. And it just is what it is. Like, I had to email an exec every day, every hour on the hour, every day. I emailed her and I put urgent because I knew she wasn't going to respond. And then eventually she got tired of me, and then my check was in the mail. But you know, sometimes you just it's so unfortunate that it has to get to that when people can just do the right thing from the beginning. It's so annoying. But all of that to say, be nice, nasty, because some people never been whooped as a kid. That's why they feel like they could play with you.
Uh-huh.
That's so true.
You gotta be a little nice, nasty, and get what you need.
For sure. I love that answer.
Yeah.
I was all for that. All for it. Because I had to ask, because a lot of these net 30s and net 60s be turning into net 100s. All of these nets. Just put my money in the net.
I needed mama a couple weeks ago to make a couple calls.
Right. Because my God.
Yeah, no, that's a real thing though. This is why this has to be brought up. Hopefully we start getting a little more confidence and changing the temperature when it comes to our part in music, because people really be having us messed up, man. They be having us messed up. And I mean, I've been all over all aspects of the music industry. The BGVs, the background vocalists, are looked at as disposable. So they put you at the backup priority. They're not thinking about, you know, whatever, when we just killed this show.
Right.
In some cases, okay, I digress. What I'm saying is this: don't ever slight us, okay? Don't put us in a position where we have to question whether or not we're worthy, because you're calling me for the next thing before I even got the check from the last one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Terrible.
So the songwriter said, "Pay me what you owe me. Don't act like you book. Hey."
Okay. Period. I want to move up in the comments a little bit, because we missed a few questions, because I do want to get us off of here by 8. So, because Tiffany's in New York, she on East Coast time. You see her yawning over there. It's past her bedtime.
I don't answer them time. I don't know where I'm at right now.
Right. Yeah, she goes. So, LJ asked a pretty cool question. He said, have you guys ever booked a gig off of your looks outside of what you can deliver vocally?
Oh, absolutely. Most of those gigs.
Hello?
That's what that's
a
hear a lot of
thing.
Honestly, there are quite a few gigs that are solely based on that. The look, how you compliment the artist.
They like how cute you are. You so cute. No, but for real, you really be singing. I just had to say that real quick. You cute, but you be singing. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Your texture is so beautiful on the back of BGVs. It's just everything.
Thank you so much.
It's hard not to miss it. So, you know, and I listened because I wasn't there. And I realized. Sorry.
No, yeah. I really think that in not all cases, but in quite a few cases, they are reaching out to you, and they want you to be there for the look. And you know, whether you bring exactly what it is that they're looking for vocally and talent wise, that's another story. But a lot of cases, they're looking for that look. How is it that you compliment the artist? I'm not going to give details on, well, I'm not going to say names, but I would say there was an artist that I worked with or worked for, got some singers for, and he wanted a very, very, very specific look. And I'm saying to the T, like hair type to the T. And it's unfortunate that sometimes that's the case. However, it's kind of the world that we live in. So, you know, I had to deliver that. I had to give him singers that had this look, that had this package, because that's what he desired for this specific performance. So that's for sure a thing sometimes.
And to that, I will say, I got fired for being too pretty. I got fired for singing too good. And that's a thing too. Like, it's like these artists claim that they want a certain aesthetic, and then you get what you want. And then now you feel like, here I am trying to take over your shine. And I'm in the background. I'm in my all black. dressed in all black like the Omen in the background, and you intimidate. Okay, just
That's a real thing, bruh.
I will never understand it, but who are me?
I heard Money Long say that on an interview, and I've also been on a gig with somebody that sung for an artist, and she sung too good, and the artist fired her because she was like, you doing a little too much of your solo moments. Can't out sing me on the solo moments. So she had to pull back. I literally watched her. She didn't get fired from that gig, but I watched her on a gig that I was with her on. They told her, look, you can't, she don't want you to do all of that. Just sing straight.
And my biggest piece of advice is letting people know, like, you don't have to play small because somebody doesn't know who they are and they signed a contract and have to do whatever the label is telling them to do. So now they walking around insecure because they a Barbie doll at this point. Y'all somebody's puppet, and here I am, just trying to get my foot in the industry, and I just am who I am. I can't help it. This is God design. Like, I'm just being me, and you can't handle it. But like, you don't ever, I don't care if you the janitor, don't ever dumb yourself down or make people make you feel like because you sing background that you are not as important as the manager or the artist or the sound man. Like I think we work together. I don't work for you. We work together. We have one common goal, and that's either if you sing gospel, we here for ministry. We here to change somebody's life. We here to set somebody free. We here to get somebody delivered. If you singing R&B, we here to inspire. We here to uplift. We here to encourage. You know what I'm saying? Like, we here to say, like, this situation happened, but it's going to be all right at the end of the day. And I think that's one common thing on either side of the spectrum, but don't dumb yourself down just because you ain't singing the lead of the song. Like, I don't like that.
I would like to add to that. I think that is highlighted. That's the top of it. There's also another side that I've learned. Take everything that Tiffany said and put that at the front, like put that at the top. However, in addition to that, I always tell people, it's something that I had to learn. There is also such thing as being a graceful singer. And a lot of people don't know the difference between being a graceful singer and a singer that can just do it all. I think that you can showcase your voice and your talent and your skill and your ability and your tone while still being graceful. And when I say graceful, I mean, as she said, do not dumb yourself down. Go do what it is. When the spotlight is on you, seize that moment. And I mean, take the whole thing as if they came to see you. However, in addition, when you are complimenting, make sure you are complimenting the artist. So there are two sides to it, but I think the side that we have to stress is don't dumb yourself down, because it's never, ever that. It's never that. You are never less than. Are you there to support? Are you there to compliment? Yes, they are coming to see us. And an example of that I can give really fast is on this last tour that I just did. People will oftentimes come up to me and say, you sound great, you did your good singing, but what they would always say that they loved was the energy that I gave throughout that show. So if I'm not singing a lead on this part, you're about to get every ounce, every piece of me jumping, every piece of me moving, every piece of me dancing, because yes, you're here to see this artist, but you're gonna see me as well, okay? You're gonna get it every time, but it's still with grace and with love. I'm having a good time. And I'm over here dancing with you. I'm complimenting you. So I think there are two sides to it. Never dumb yourself down. Never let people dumb you down, but also be a graceful singer. And then when it's time to seize the moment, seize the moment. Take the stage. Take it. And I had to learn that. I had a little part, and I would be like, oh. And that person said, I need more. I said, you ain't got to tell me twice. I'm gonna do it the first time. There it is. Amen. And since that point, like, I seize the moment every time it's given to me. I'm gonna seize the moment. Every time they say you do this part, I'm gonna make sure that I'm leaving this audience with something they can remember me by. If they go home and they forget about me, I haven't done my job. as a background singer. It's as simple as that. You don't have to be in the front or leading for them to remember you. You can be in your all black, right there on the side by the drums, by the piano, and they can remember you and say, you know what, it was something about that person in the middle or the left or the right. I like them. Let me go see what they got on Instagram or on TikTok. Oh shoot, they sing down. Let me see what songs. All it does is it's a domino effect. It hits. So when you are given that moment, I mean, when I say take it and go. As Princess said, kill it. Hello? Kill it.
Can I? The one thing about singing BGVs with anybody, you can be on a stage with a gospel singer one day and then a country singer the next day, you know, and you just have to be intuitive. And that takes some emotional intelligence, coming into the room, reading the artist, reading how they're talking to you, how their temperament is with people they know and people that they don't know. How, you know, you just gotta, this is a customer service job. You know what I'm saying? This is really, you know, gaining. That's why energy is so important, because there are people that I know that don't have half the talent of certain other people that I know that have had a job because of their character and their intuition and them discerning the room and having emotional intelligence over somebody who could sing the whole room down. Well, ma'am, sir, your job was not to sing the room down. Your job was to be the BGV. And so I always say BGVs are like the nurses of the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Like, nurses got to still know how to do everything. They got to be intuitive and be able to assist the doctor. And a lot of times that means knowing the doctor, what he got to do, she got to do, they got to do. Also knowing what you got to do. Sometimes you might have to carry the lead when if you're, you know, the artist is sick or something happens on stage, you know, and you got to know, and it'll be the main artist that you were scared to sing in front of for real. And that they called on you because they know your capability. You know what I'm saying? You just got to figure out where to fit yourself in. You know what I'm saying? And that takes it takes a little double dutch, takes a little chest moves. You know what I'm saying? And knowing what that looks like. I just wanted to say that because it's more than your talent. It's more than not dumbing yourself down talent-wise. Again, I know people who have been working forever. They wouldn't even consider themselves the best singers and all of that kind of stuff. No, they know their job. And they know the character that it takes to, you know, have longevity. So just, you know, having some, and I would say learn emotional intelligence. If anything, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, church didn't teach us that. So for a lot of us that are depending on our communication style like that, church don't really teach us about how to communicate without talking, but like watching, you know, and that type of thing, and learning how to stand in rooms and be present, but not be heard. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So I just wanted to say that. I just found myself in the middle with Tiff and Jaden, like somewhere in the middle there, like, don't dumb yourself down for nobody. And if you feel miserable for $1, I'm telling you, leave.
Please,
leave.
God.
We are not here for that.
Get out.
Get
out.
Yeah, it's not supposed to feel like work. It's supposed to be fun. It's what you love to do. This is exciting. Anytime you feel like I have to do this, not I want to be here.
Yeah.
Not I have to, like if you feel like I have to go do this.
Out.
Because
It's
now
like I was at the store today or yesterday, and the guy that was checking me out, I could just tell he was miserable.
He was checking you out.
No, he was checking he was checking me out at the store, and I could just tell he didn't want to be there. Or like they said, once it gets to that point where you pulling up at rehearsal and you like, ugh, like it's just time to go. Time to move on. That means you just graduated. It's time for you to promote yourself. You are your business, so it's time for you to promote yourself
and
to the next thing.
It's okay to do that too. I think oftentimes we don't feel it's okay to say, I'm done with this. It's okay to put the last chapter and close the book on a thing. It's perfectly fine. We aren't, I think that's another thing that we're not taught. We think that we have to stay and burn ourselves out. You don't. You really don't. You can,
And you don't
you
have
can
to
say,
burn
I've
bridges.
learned. Yes, you've learned everything that you were supposed to learn. You gave everything that you're supposed to give for this season in this space with this artist. Amen. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm grateful. And now it's the next thing. It's okay.
Marvin said, once Chick-fil-A turns into McDonald's, leave. I am with
Right, no, for real. Time to go.
Okay, we have like, it's 5 people with their hands up.
Okay. Where do y'all see the hands? I
So
don't see them.
Johnny had his hand. Naomi Brigian. How do you say your name? How do you say it?
Yeah, you're saying it right. It's Brigian.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go with John. You can unmute yourself, Johnny.
Hey y'all, how you doing?
Hey.
So my question is, I'm 19, and I'm just starting out as a background vocalist and stuff like that. So I was just wondering, like, if I know we were giving out tips and things to do, but like, what could somebody personally work on as they like wait for their opportunity or their chance to do what they would love to do?
I would say, being that I think I'm the youngest person on here, I think, outside of you, I would say continue to perfect your gift, continue to learn. There's always space to grow. There's always new things to learn. There are always new sounds that you can figure out. There's always new material that you can understand. However, in addition to that, one thing that I would love to stress is understand the business, learn the business. Because when you know the business, when you understand that, and then you are given the opportunity to go into the business, it's way smoother. Not that everything's just going to be all green lights, not that, but you just have an understanding way more. And I think coming from experience that I didn't have as much understanding of the business when I jumped into it, I think that was one of the reasons why it took me some time to be able to gain that confidence to say, this is what I deserve, X, Y, and Z. So I would say, in addition to the talent, learn the business while you're waiting for that opportunity. Really get an understanding. There's books on it. There's YouTube. It's all of it. And you can talk to people as well. So learn the business. That's what I would say.
Thank you.
My bad. Let me, John, I'm just talking. Brigian, you can unmute your mic.
Rich evening, everybody. I think my question has already been answered. I think you guys all answered it. It was basically just asking what or how should I create my content to post on social media, as far as getting the exposure out there. I mean, like covers or my own music that I write, or just acapella of just notes. And I think someone also asked in the chat, like, how do you all receive the singers when it's on social media? Is it like through hashtags, or is that you just going to search for singers that you may get recommended to you? Yeah, I just want to know how to expose myself more to the singing world.
I would suggest they have these. I don't know if everybody was on Voicey, but there was this app called Voicey. I think it's done now, but that was a really good app during the pandemic to showcase you harmonizing with yourself. But they have several apps that you can do if you can sing all parts, like soprano, alto, and tenor. You can harmonize with yourself, or if you have like a group of friends, y'all can come together and kind of do songs together. A lot of people are doing that, and you can do solo videos as well. Jaden, Tiff, if y'all have anything to add to that.
First of all, Jaden is video king, so he should have been the
Yes.
first person.
I mean, you first, ladies first.
No, I was I was just gonna say, I see a lot of people do, like now you can remix reels. So like if somebody is singing, now you can remix their reel and do a video of you singing with them, either like a lead part or like background vocals. And then like, you know, a lot of artists do like I just saw recently, Coco Jones has a song out that she's promoting. Kenyon Dixon even did the same thing where they do like an open verse challenge. So like they'll sing the first verse to a song and then they'll say, okay, now it's your turn. And that's your opportunity to make another video of you doing like a second verse. Or there's a thing where like, I think Kenyon did it where it's like line by line. So he'll sing a line, you sing a line, and then y'all end up singing together. Like little stuff like that, like little challenges and stuff like that are very helpful. And then it goes back to the hashtag question, because then, you know, now everybody can see all the people that was, you know, a part of the challenge and all the videos that were posted on social media. I think people do it on TikTok too, but yeah, I would say like try to like remix videos. Like Ashley J, I don't know if y'all follow Ashley J on Instagram, like she's really, really good at that. Like what's the Pentatonics? They when they did like the Christmas something and they do the background, you do the lead. It's so many variations, so many different things that you can do.
Yeah, and I agree with all that. In addition to that, I think you said, should you do covers or your own? I think do both. And the reason I say do both is because, of course, you want to expose your own music and your own sound. However, if you do covers, you tag these artists. You know, the song that you're doing, the artist song that you're singing, tag them. Because once again, social media is very powerful. A lot of times these artists do see these videos, and it's the artists that you think don't see, they end up seeing it. I just saw on TikTok, Meghan Trainor, a very big pop artist. She was just randomly reposting a lot of people that did her challenge, as Tiffany said, just reposting, constant reposting. And these people were getting thousands of likes. And TikTok moves quick. Like when it moves, it's out of here instantly. So do both, you know, do your covers, tag the artist, use the hashtag, and even tag the singing pages. I don't know TeamBGV. I've heard another singing page say that they get annoyed with that, and I can care less how annoyed you get. Not you, TeamBGV. You get annoyed. I'm gonna keep tagging you because I want
we love a tag. I love when you guys send me stuff.
What's the point of having a page if people can't tag you?
Exactly.
Why are we existing?
Right.
Tag these pages, and that's
tag us.
But then let me go viral on my own, or let somebody with some status. Now I'm on your page. Now you need me.
Well, that's brand confusion. That's all that is. They don't know that that's how they're growing. I mean, but what it is, the good thing about that, the reason why it's important to also tag them is because they are popular. So people are searching them. So inside of the search, if you put a hashtag in, you're going to see you can even filter them by the most popular. You can filter them by the most recent. And so you're able to be, you know, especially the challenge thing. The challenge thing is really jump on challenges. If you're looking for exposure, jump on challenges, do the remix reels, because people are searching them actively. And when you're remixing things, also look for, I don't know if you guys know about this, but the arrow in the corner of the songs and the audios that are trending, you can even do that. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, where the song is at the bottom. When you're looking for audios, it'll have an arrow that's pointing up. And what that means is that song or that audio is trending. So while that's just the audio, you could post yourself singing to an audio that, you know, fits your voice or whatever. So as long as you're finding those little fine-tuned ways to get yourself some exposure, it you know, you can't lose it. And I would say that's probably the most easiest way for people to see you. You know, even beyond us building a directory, the directory is for people who are actively looking for singers, but there's nothing like stumbling across a good singer. Like you'd be like, hey, because you know what happens? The virality of it is it sparks that interest. So now the little airplane in the corner, everybody clicking it and sending it to somebody that they know will love it. So virality is also luck. So you want both. You want somewhere that people could come and concentratedly, like, I'm looking in New York. Who are the singers in New York? Who are the altos in New York? That's how the directory will be created. But always do it all. Do TikTok, if Voicey was still a thing, do Voicey, do everything.
Baby, Voicey
I think
was
Voicey is
lit.
still a thing. I think it's still a thing.
I think it's my app
I
still
don't think
works.
it's as popular anymore. But
No, but they had sent out a PSA that they were closing it down and taking all of the data. So they was
close.
if they
Yeah,
did.
they did a little close.
Oh, another good way to do this, if you guys don't know about this social media stuff, go to TikTok and put duets, #duets inside of the search engine. That'll show you a bunch of different ideas on how to jump on. You could possibly do the same remix on Instagram, #remix.
I'm gonna get the challenges started back up. We were having fun with the challenges back in the day. We're gonna start doing those, and y'all hop on. Like the reason why I stopped because people started being too scared to do them. Like they was too scared to do them, and
it's me. I'm people.
Girl, bye.
I cannot. The confidence that some people have, I don't have. I've never been able to.
Really?
Never. I can't.
Never would.
I won't say I can't. I don't know what. I think it's a. I don't know what it is.
But it's just posting online.
It's me going like this. I can't.
Is it Tiff? Is it just you posting online, or is it when you do solos too?
It's just like if I'm somewhere and I'm singing and somebody records a video and sends it to me, I'll post that. But if I have to like sit there and concentrate and do it myself, it's not for me. I can't. I don't know what that is. I just can't. Like Jaden is good at that.
I get that.
Yeah.
I'm so good at that too. I
have some of that, and people probably wouldn't have never known that that's an issue that you have.
Yeah, so I think it's relatable. It's relatable.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love how real and raw this conversation is. I love it. It's giving me life.
Thank y'all so much for answering the questions. It's definitely so insightful. I really, really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you, Mr. Ricky. It is your turn.
Who's next?
Hey y'all, y'all have to excuse my profile picture and my name. I'm logged into my work account on Zoom. I didn't realize it when I was logging in.
He said I got multiple accounts.
Yeah. I'm a music teacher by day, so that I didn't realize it, but you know, we're here now. Anyway, my question is, I believe personally and at the academy that experience is the best teacher. So I'm interested in like won't do that no more type of moment where you learn something really valuable. If everybody would, share.
I won't do that no more moment. I'm trying to think of one.
Is there one? I'll say for years. So I sang background for Avant for a really long time. I mean, that's my my brother. But in the beginning, they asked me to do all Kiki's parts. So this would mean I would have to do, if y'all don't know who Avant is, I don't know the age group on here. This is
I'm knowing.
I only got 4 minutes about. So, but him and, Kiki Wyatt have several, duet songs together. And in the beginning, when I got hired, which was in 2006, my guy, that was a long time ago, I was like, I can't do her parts. I was just like, I could never do her parts. Because in my mind, she was a soprano. And, the people want the show. I'm like, I can't sing that high. You know what I'm saying? And so for years, I think I remember them asking me like 2 or 3 times, like, to do it. And I was like, no, Like, I'm never gonna look like a fool on stage. And what ended up changing my mind was when I changed my mind about me as a singer, what we were talking about earlier. I'm not Kiki. I'm not here to sing like Kiki. I'm here to sing like Isa. And so I forfeited a nice bag for years extra that I would have gotten for singing lead parts just because I was being extra. And I was dumbing myself down and I didn't see what I brought to the table. So I think the takeaway from that is what Tiff was saying earlier, like, you know, and what P said about the sauce. Like, you got to know what your sauce is. What do you bring to the table? Never dumb down yourself, and stay around people who celebrate and help you to even see what your unique thing about yourself is. So when you walk in rooms, you know what you bring to the table.
Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate that.
Mine.
I think one of mine, my major one is doing work before in the studio without any type of number talk, didn't have any conversation. I would never, that was when I first started. And my voice ended up being on this movie. It made it, it was like, it was in the theaters for a short while, but then it got on BET. So I didn't get paid for any of that. I didn't get any type of credit, nothing. And I would never do that again. That was
so
what,
now
that
do you carry like a split sheet with you, or you just kind of keep one in your Google Drive that you forward to people?
Yeah.
Okay.
When they're in those cases, yes, especially in the studio, just so I can make sure I have my ducks in a row. Because most people are not going to think about you the way you think about yourself unless they really rock with you and they're professional and they have integrity. But a lot of people gonna use you for whatever you allow them to do. And this was somebody I grew up with, so I didn't know anything. I just was so happy to be in the studio doing something, and I would never do that again.
And be your own folks, ain't it?
Yes.
And I think that might have to be one of my I'll never do that again. Is in some cases, just because they're your friend and you want to get them work, you know, still know what they bring. And if they're not bringing exactly what it is that they're looking for, the artist they're looking for, then you might not be able to call that specific friend. And sometimes that's a, oops, won't do that again. Also, in addition to what Princess just said, I don't know if anybody's in SAG, but what I will say is for sessions and for, you know, union gigs, write every single thing down. The times, the stacks, the sweetening, everything. Sweetening is the stacks, adding little flavors and whatnot. Every single thing, write it down, because in some cases where, you know, they don't know how much knowledge you have, they'll try to get over on you. But when you have that knowledge, what I was saying a few minutes ago, having that understanding and understanding the business, when you have that knowledge and you write it all down and you take it to the higher ups, your rep, and you give them all that info, then, you know, they can then do what it is that they need to do because they've been presented all the info that was needed. So that's I think oops, won't do that again for myself as well, because I have done that, gone into a situation and knew nothing, not even what I was about to sing, just did it because of who called me and I was excited, but I didn't have that understanding. So yeah, I think those are my two.
I'm over here thinking hard. I would say one, this was so embarrassing. I was at I had to sing at Madison Square Garden. I was singing background for, what's this man's name? I won't tell. Jermaine Paul. He was opening for Alicia Keys, right? She was pregnant at the time. This was, oh God. This was when her and Beyonce had that song, Say You Love Me, Say You Love Me, and put it in a love song. That's a long time ago. Anyway, my husband is snoring. I hope y'all can't hear him. So we thought we had time to get ready. So we like chilling, like big chilling. Then it's time to get ready for the show. And so we like, all right, we got sound check, but we could just do what we can, go to sound check and finish.
Come back, yeah.
I had on a jumpsuit that needed to be pinned because it was like falling off of me. Not only that, like my makeup was half done and I had Uggs on. So I'm like, fine, it's sound check. I'm coming right back. We sound check. As soon as we done, we go to turn around to leave to get off the stage. All the lights in the garden go out. Ladies and gentlemen, Jermaine Paul. I said, I know you lying. I had to sing on stage in Ugg boots. Lord have mercy. And my jumpsuit wasn't pinned. So I'm on stage singing like this because I'm falling apart and I don't look the part, and everything that could have went wrong, it just seemed wrong. But at that point, the lights are up. Sound check is the show. Like when I tell you, I don't leave my hotel room. I need to be 90% ready when I leave my hotel room, because when I get to the venue, I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, the show got pushed up. We got to go on earlier. Cool, I'm ready. You will not get me again. Ooh, you want to talk about embarrassed? I was so embarrassed. Never again would have happened.
That's funny. That's funny. That's hilarious.
Thank you all. I really appreciate
it. That's a lesson for me. Never. My God.
And then also I had another little piece. I'm just gonna throw it in there, you know, since I'm here. I don't know if you guys offer this as well, but is there a way that like possibly we can get our social media profile, specifically Instagram, like evaluated, like maybe yourself or someone else to be like, hey, if I were you, I would do this, or have you considered adding this? Whether that's a paid service or not, it's definitely something that I'm interested in, and I'm sure there are others.
That's actually really dope. I never even thought about something like that, but
I was literally getting ready to say, listen, don't.
That's really dope.
I have it set up by tomorrow.
Okay.
Well, let me go ahead and put my @ be the first on the list. Just go
ahead. We'll have it set up.
You know what's gonna be dope is once you guys social, absolutely there's a way to, like I was explaining this about branding in the group the other day, and I was talking about Princess and how when you go to her page on across all of her platforms, it's Princess the BGV. Now, people who are in our world, they know what BGV is. The great thing about this too is we walk around with these shirts and hoodies on everywhere we go. They're like, what does the BGV stand for? It doesn't matter where we are. Like, what's the BGV stand for? And so wearing who you are and optimizing your page to say that, if nothing else like that, if you don't have something in there, you know, that says suggest, especially like Tiffany said, if you got hills and mountains between on your page, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to show yourself. And so that would be a good thing. The other thing is the directory is going to have that as well. We have some really, it looks like social media, the way that the cards are set up, but we're still working.
To see it. It's so nice.
And stuff of all of that. But in the meantime, yes, you can optimize your page.
All right, guys. We're gonna get to the last few questions because I gotta go pick my baby up from dance practice. Lena.
It's Lena.
Lena. Okay, I knew I had it right.
I tried to take the last few letters and put them back on there so y'all wouldn't struggle, but
we got you.
Have the floor.
But first of all, I want to just say I thank y'all for holding this space because it's so needed. So many people need these nuggets of knowledge. I've seen a few of you live, and I just want to say that you all are appreciated. The question that I have, so I'm from Cleveland. And I am about to move to Dallas in like a week. And so I've been doing a lot of live music and things like that here in Cleveland. I actually just emerged as an actual artist. And so before I was doing a lot of, trying to just in the background and things like that. But I actually decided to stand on wanting to become a real artist. And my bread and butter right now is a lot of studio work. And so I've been working with other artists in the studios and things like that. But my question for you all is, I know we talked a lot about like live BGV work and things like that, but I just want to know a little bit more about establishing connections in the session world, because I know that that's my bread and butter. And so I want to just know like what you all's take on that is.
The session world. Anybody got some? Isa does a lot of session work.
You know, when it comes to that type of thing, it's about that's really about contractors for real, because you know, there are companies like full out companies who are hired production companies to, you know, cast singers for sessions and stuff like that. Now, in many cases, you do have people who, again, they're looking for singers and they go searching for singers on social media. And if someone hires a contractor, again, the base here is a contractor. There's usually people who are out seeking, you know, this. And so the same things apply. Unless they've already allocated the singers they need, what usually happens if they need 2 or 3 more, they're hitting social media, or they have someone going to look for someone who many times is already in town. They're not really flying nobody out. There's enough people in one place. Now, in some special cases, they will. If there's something specific that they want you to do, or if the contractor has a connection to somebody and they're just adamant about having them there. Many times they do have the budget for that, but most time, if that's the case, but most of the time they're going to look wherever you are. So Dallas has a really dope music scene in general. Like they really do. They have a great community there. I could possibly connect you to some people that I know that are there. But I think that session work, live work, it's all some, I won't say it's all some of the same people, because they can be 2 completely different worlds, especially for those who are casting for movies and those who are casting for, you know, you have people who are looking for different sounds. Again, it just depends on what you're doing. The people who sing background on even songs that go on artist records are not necessarily the ones who travel on the road with them. So it can be 2 different worlds, but some of the same processes. So I would say continue to make connections with people in that world and continue to showcase yourself as you are, you know, all of the things that you can do. If you do a lot of session work, post that, you know, and showcase yourself there. You know, they be doing the Made Up podcast setups now. You can do the same thing. Put your some little foam up in the back, put your little curtain or rug up, and you know, get to moving. So there you go. I mean, it's really just all kind of the same machine, but just the relationships are what really threads it all together. So I mean, in our case, the apparatus we're trying to build is where people are actually not just going to be entertained, but going to actually look for singers. So we'll have it set up that way. But for now, most of us, you know, we have that networking piece there, and then showcasing yourself on your socials.
And to add just a few pieces to that, not in all cases, but in some cases, or I should say an example, I have been asked before I even got called to do the gig or the session gig, was I a part of SAG? In some cases, that is a determining factor. Not all, not even 75%, but in some cases, it's like, well, you know, since you aren't a part of SAG for this one, I will have to get somebody else. And that was in the past. Now that I am a part of SAG, it's a little different. But in some cases, it's like that. I will also add on to that and say session work and live work, while they're the same session, like Isa said, it's not even just the entertaining. Now at this point, it's your vocals. Really perfect that blending. Really perfect that adding color to this movie track or to this song that's about to be out forever. It's not just a show, a one time and hit it. At this point, this is something that's now about to be produced to the world for X amount of years, and a video will as well. But this is, you know, this artist or this production, this team, they're making money from this now because it's going to continue to, you know, generate. So I would say all those things in addition to what Isa said.
And those are 2 different checks too, y'all. Let me tell y'all this. Yeah. Hey, that face right And Julian, that face was funny. Julian said, yeah. Because here's the thing. So I sang on Hidden Figures and I still get money from it just because my voice is on there. Also, there's a thing. Them checks are cute. Now, when they $38, they can probably I can buy some dinner with that. But
when
I'm
they're
just
83 cents.
What'd you say?
When they're 83 cents. Okay.
Now, those 83 cents was those the ones that get you.
No, but there is something called the AFTRA fund that we're putting. A lot of this stuff, guys, we're gonna have. I keep mentioning the Ultimate BGV guy and everything else we got going on because that's what we're here for. Okay, this guy is going to help. I'm sorry, my phone going dead. My phone going dead? Sorry. This guy talks about the AFTRA fund as well, and this is basically where your sound recording, because it's your intellectual property, they're gonna give you money. It's a fund. They just created it.
Baby, when I tell you I got a check of life a couple months ago.
What you think they start doing? So what they do is they used to give you something every quarter. During COVID, I got that check just out of nowhere, but it was like they're gonna give you the money all up front for the year. I'm telling y'all, I think this check was probably like $1,800. And I mean, that's, however you want to look at it, it's $1,800 from something that I knew about it, but I didn't know that was something, that they were a part of or could even do, send us money and be of a help. A lot of people did a lot of great things during COVID, but that's something to consider too, not just the residuals from you actually singing on it. And not everybody does that. Sometimes they do a buyout. So don't be expecting it from every situation. Okay. But in every case, make sure if your name is on a published work, make sure you get your credit because that's the only way they can track your name. My son is supposed to be in the bed. And these are the things that we have to deal with. These are honorary TeamBGV members. But yes.
6,000 and change
because
it's like a thing where they don't know if your address is still the same or whatever. So they just been holding money this whole time. And then I had to go on the website and like fill out this sheet, this form or whatever. And that check came. I said, wow.
Yes, that was your bag pay.
I said, I love
unexpected check.
We love a back pay. We love a back pay.
Well, thank y'all so much for answering the question.
Oh, you're welcome. We're gonna get Miss Naomi, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Oh,
what's up, y'all?
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
What's up, Tiff? How you doing? I met Tiff in New Breed last year, Israel New Breed, when I got recruited with him through Adrian, his wife, from a show I was on Fox called I Can See Your Voice. So that's how I met Tiff. She is the funniest person alive. Pero anyway, I got a couple questions. I won't take up too much of y'all's time because I know it's late. Over here in Florida, it's 11:30. So, but that's my prime time hours,
Yeah.
Okay, so I was gonna ask. So I'm a very plan A kind of girl, and it's plan A all the way. And if there is a plan B, it's actually plan AB or A1. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's plan A all the way. There's no plan B for me. And it's going to be that way. And that's very much how I've been raised and how I've kind of been in throughout my career and everything. And so I was going to ask y'all, Tiffany and Jaden, and the rest of y'all, was it your plan to be doing this right now? And if so, then is it part of a bigger plan in the future for you? What do you aspire to take out from this? What do you aspire, have you been planning to do it this long? Is this something that you expected? Has it been disappointing in some ways? Has it been a bigger blessing than disappointment? What has it been for y'all in regards to like strategic career moves? Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense. I think for me, I'm the same. Uh-oh, stay with it, Jaden. All right. I almost checked out, okay? Woo-hoo-wee. For me, I'm the same exact way. I'm a very plan A. This is it. This is what I desire. So I'm gonna put my mind to it and we're gonna go after it. And I'm that's how I am. It's faith, that's just what it is. And I will have to say that I've been doing this for a good 3 to 4 years. And I didn't expect myself to be here yet. I will have to say that, but I've been blessed to be here. And it moved in a way. I really think Sunday service helped me out because that connected me to so many. And it just began to move after that. So I will have to say that this is a part of the plan. This is the plan that I've had. I'm going to do this. And as I said in the beginning of this Zoom, for me specifically, not for everybody or for every BGV, but for me, this is my stepping stool. This is my ladder. This is me getting the funds. Let's be real. This is me making that money so I can then fund myself. Because Blakely, the artist, is who I aspire to be. Blakely, the artist, is who I'm going to be. And I'm still him. But when I say going to be, I mean, we're going to sell out the stadiums. And that's just what it is. Because that's my heart's desire. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to put in the work until I get there. And even when I'm there, we're going to still grow. It's always a new goal. So this is a part of the plan. This is the plan A, and this is what's been happening. This is what's going to continue to happen until that thing takes off, and it's going to take off soon.
Amen.
You better take off. How you know she? For me, I just knew that I just wanted to sing. My mom sings, my dad is a musician. So I've always kind of been around music, from church to, the world famous legendary Village Underground. And then like my dad used to play with D'Angelo and Groove Theory and Madonna and so many big crazy names. So I just knew I just wanted to sing. I think once I understood the BGV life, and once I understood like, oh, you get money singing. They pay for you to they put you on a plane. You get a hotel room. Like once I started to like really come into what this life was, I think I kind of like settled in that. Then at some point, watching other people be everything that they're supposed to be and being inspired by that, it kind of made me feel like, okay, I have to make a decision. Like, are you going to be the background singer? Or are you going to be the lead singer? But then I started to feel like, well, I need to sing background because I need to get paid. I need to fund whatever I'm doing for myself. And so for a long time, it was very compromising. Like I didn't know how to balance it. I didn't know how to do both. I didn't know if I could do both. And so now I'm at a place where I'm doing both. I'm doing both comfortably. And now that I'm married, Lord, I'm married, and then I've taken on children. So like my life is like really all over the place now. And so it's causing me to really like prioritize and really mean what I do. Like everything has to make sense now. Like now it's like, as much as it's fun, as much as I love to do it, now it's like, no, I have to be very intentional with where I go, with when I go. If I'm missing, moments, baseball game, basketball game, dance recitals, you know what I'm saying? Like this time last year, my husband had surgery, and I remember telling Jasmine's manager, like, hey, my husband has surgery. I can't leave when y'all leave. I'll just meet y'all at the show. And I remember her telling me like, well, you know, flights are going to be delayed and I don't know if you should. And I said, then I can't go. Because when I come back home, this is what I have to come, like, I got to make sure home is your first ministry. I do not play about that. And for me, I was not about to compromise a job or a dollar and not know if my husband was okay. He was okay, but you know, I just needed that assurance. So I'm saying all that to say, like, now it's a matter of balancing. And I know that it can work because Adrian does it. Adrian has 500 million gazillion jobs. Erica Campbell, I tell her all the time, I sing background for her too. She is who I call Superwoman. This woman is a wife, she's a mother, she's a first lady, she's a singer, she's a sister, she's an artist with her sister, she is a author. Like, she does so many things and she gives every part of what she does 100% all the time. And that's something that I always look at her like, wow, if she can do it, I know that I can do it too.
Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you.
That was good. I have to answer your question, Naomi. It's been so many things dropped tonight. And I mean, this is just a really small portion of all that we could talk about. And this is why we are setting out to have, you know, more things like this, where we're able to come together and just kind of get raw and get the perspectives of our background singers and just different opportunities, learning, growing. Again, we are with TeamBGV looking to change the narrative when it comes to when background singers are even thought about and what it is that we bring to the conversation. And in order for us to do that outside of us, we have to facilitate that within our community. And so I really appreciate Tiff and Jaden for being with us tonight. We want to give y'all some kudos for being with us tonight. We really, Princess had to leave because we are mothers first. And what Tiff just said is something that I always want to tell you guys. I say this to all of my mentees. I mean, I'm very low key and in the cut. And I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily the face of anything. Princess puts a lot of time into our socials. I'm behind the scenes thinking of systems and doing all kind of business stuff for our organization. But I have done a lot in this industry. And I want to say to you guys, especially because I'm a mom, I've been a wife, I've done these things. There is a balance that you have to create for yourself. And really, all of this advice will mean nothing if you're not able to think for yourself and find in yourself what's best for you. Because where I would give up in a heartbeat a tour just to be home from our son's birthday, I probably would not have done that when I like 20, 50, I don't want to get my age up. A lot of them years ago. Okay. I probably would not have that. I will be 41 on Sunday proudly. I know I look like I'm 26. And but no, I've literally been in the industry for a really long time. So when I say on all sides, literally behind the scenes, writing, recording, BGVing live, BGVs in the, all of this stuff. And so you got to learn to balance with your life, because people, when you have great talent, they will pull on you. They don't care about your life. They don't care about any of that stuff. And so we want to make sure, thank you guys. We want to make sure that we're facilitating a holistic approach to what it is that we do, not just the fluff and puff. We like to talk about the struggles, but we also like to celebrate what we do. We love this. This is why we do it. Most of us would do it for free. And that just shows how much we love it, but we're not doing it for free no more. And so we're merging the love of what we do. We're merging, I was just about to say that. We're merging the love of what we do with the profession of what we do. And we have to start to make noise and not wait on people to give us, the floor. We are the floor. We create the floor. And so as you guys can see how TeamBGV is growing, and it's something that people love. You guys, a lot of you guys came from off of Instagram, but we have lots of systems in place, and we have an initiative to bring our community together. And one of the best ways to bring anybody together is to have a big old party, and to have something that celebrates the people who we've grown up watching and loving. And so in November of this year, 2023, the year of our Lord, we are going to be having what is called BGV Honors. I've pasted the website inside of the chat. It's bgvhonors.org. It's going to be in Atlanta. And this is an award show for us, by us, that Princess and I have been organizing for the last couple years. And we're so excited. You know, we're saying think of the Grammys, but for BGVs, but kind of just BGV Honors. I mean, it's for us.
I'm getting my gown custom made.
Listen, we're ready.
Because I'm about to have a good suit.
It's gonna be so
Fashion Nova.
Pretty little thing.
Y'all finna come murder my ass. Oh my goodness.
Hey, listen, it's gonna be such a time had. We're having the most amazing tributes. We're gonna be releasing who our honorees are soon. But I mean,
oh shit. I ain't laughed this hard in a long time.
Katrina.
Nothing, just got from the grocery store.
Katrina.
I'm fat like that.
Let me see if I can mute her. Did somebody text her?
She muted. Ooh.
I don't need it either.
Katrina.
Katrina, you say you don't need it. You might want to put that thing on mute, Katrina.
Okay. So that time is winding up. That's all. It's time to get your house in order. It's time to get off here. What it is TeamBGV Honors. That team. Y'all got my words mixed up. Katrina, you done came in. Girl, that's how you came on. Girl. Hey, we was about to get some good tea. We shouldn't even said that. No, but BGV Honors is for us. And you know, Princess and I are building this alone. You know, we have a lot of eyes on us, a lot of people who are interested in what we're doing. But in order for this to be a success, we have to show up. You know what I'm saying? We have to show up, and we have to show them that we mean business. And yeah, what do you mean? We didn't wait on you guys to celebrate us. We're celebrating ourselves, you know? And so it becomes a thing. The community is grown so much, and everybody's excited. And so our tickets are on sale right now at bgvhonors.org. So we want you guys to get your tickets for that. And we're going to have more information rolling out as people are interested and opt in to get more information about the show. We'll be rolling more of that out. But for now, you want to be there. You want to say that you were at the very first of many of this kind of show. And so I don't know if I'm missing.
Payment plans are available, guys.
Yes, payment plans. You got back on, Pete. Payment plans are available. You guys can, you know, this is not $2. This is not the $20.
Amen.
Yeah, no, this is the real thing. And we have real people behind the scenes working on this, like our production managers and different people. They've worked for some of the biggest names in the business, as they say. Okay. And so when you have A-line team, you know, you want the people to show up. We want to pack the place out. We want to build a good relationship with the venue that we're working with, so that maybe we can do it again, you know, next year. But we really want this to be a success. We need you all, though. We do need, you know, for people to show some faith. And me and Princess ain't gonna be up there cute by herself. on the black carpet.
No, you ain't, because I'm going to Fashion Nova as soon as we get off this phone.
Ooh-wee, I love a little fashion.
Okay.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, y'all, a lot of people done got their tickets. And you know what sold out? Them all access VIP tickets, because y'all was like, I'm not doing all of this and I can't touch the hem of his garment, okay? And I get that. I love it. I think that that's amazing. It shows where you guys, you know, what you value, and it's going to be a good time. We're going to have brunch that Sunday. Saturday is the show, and we're going to have after party. But that Sunday, we're going to have a good brunch. If you have never been to Atlanta and had brunch in Atlanta, like anywhere, like not anywhere, but it's so many places. And we have a really prime place. We had a really good time that we want to show up and show out. But BGV Honors is really going to be an amazing night. It's for us to honor the people that we know and love. We've watched them on YouTube or old tapes, you know, before there was even a way to watch people on social media. And now, you know, we have such a wide range of age. The demographic is so wide. Some of you guys have just started your careers, and the first place you saw people were on Instagram or, you know, that type of thing. And so we really appreciate the wide measure spectrum of the audience that, you know, it just shows you how much my son, he's 8. He loves the BGV. He's like, Mom, how does that sound once you get done recording it? It's like, how does it all come together? So it's universal. It's no age limit. You know, now we don't really want kids at the honors. I don't think you want your kids there. If you have any, this is going to be your weekend away. Okay, until we can get the kinder care in the back, because we just want everybody to look cute.
Children's church.
Yes.
Y'all are nuts.
Right. So go to BGV Honors, tell your friends, guys, yeah, make this like a trip this year. You have a while to, you know, to get out. The tickets are not $20, but they're not astronomical at all. So it's, you guys have time. You know, I feel like I'm doing like those Saturday night sales, you know, even at $25 a month. I'm just saying, that's what it started to sound like. But we need y'all, you know what I'm saying? We need you guys to invest in this and make this beautiful. And we're really gonna have some of the most amazing performances at the after party. Our BGVs are gonna be singing. We have some of our team BGV members who are gonna be singing. So if you want to be a part of that, you just want to get in the loop. So you know
I'm gonna sponsor 2 people, but we'll talk about that offline. But yeah, I'll sponsor 2 tickets.
Thank you.
Let's do like a thing. Let's make like a thing, like a
like
something.
We're gonna do $100 line, or we're gonna do $1,000 line.
I gotta sing with Jasmine at least 2 more tours, and then
at least 2 more tours. At least 2 more tours.
Or Kanye gotta come back to Sunday.
We're gonna be doing giveaways and stuff too. But we're so early. We're just trying to get, you know, get the ball running, and some of this stuff is gonna be a little more exciting once we started, you know, announcing names and that kind of thing. But we're using these opportunities with people that have shown interest deeper than just entertainment. Like like $5. Y'all pay $5 to get this information. And
I know that phone didn't die.
The devil is so dumb.
Oh,
He's just dumb.
Wait a minute. Princess and Isa gone?
No, Princess right here.
Oh, Princess.
Oh, that devil is dumb.
Oh, ain't he busy?
What happened? What I missed?
Isa just, she just
Her phone died, and that devil got
caught up in the rapture.
And look, I was talking to my daughter's dance teacher. Well, this was
She's talking about
conversation.
giveaways. She's doing giveaways, but she was saying, you know, people pay $5 to be here, and I don't know where. I didn't know the transition.
Yeah,
I didn't even hear what she was saying. So she was doing a giveaway.
She did say her phone was about to get dead. So.
And they got there.
We knew when it was. We knew it was going to happen. We didn't know it was going to happen so fast.
Abrupt.
Abrupt yada
Well, I will maybe whenever, I don't know exactly where she left off at. But
Princess said, hate to eat and run. Thank y'all for coming.
Because
Everybody, I have fun.
Because this was a really good conversation. I recorded it. So you guys can go back and look at it. I will provide, well, you guys got the link already. So I just appreciate Tiffany, Jaden. You guys are amazing. Freaking love you guys, for real, for real. Thank you guys for investing in yourself, investing your time with us tonight. This will not be the only time we do this. We have more coming up, so just stay tuned for that. I already told you about the BGV honors. Make sure you go visit the store. Our website, official TeamBGV.com is up and running. We are flourishing right now. And get you a little piece of merch, you know. Okay. I will
Isa, she's back.
There go Isa. Okay. What were you doing, girl?
I definitely look like what I've been through. I'm sorry. I apologize. My phone went dead, but go ahead.
I said, oh my God, the devil.
No, they said you was doing a giveaway. I was like, I didn't know where you left off at.
No. I would say we're going to be doing a giveaway. Tiff just said she would sponsor, and I don't know, Jaden said something behind that, but I don't.
As well.
Okay, well, I was saying behind that we're going to be, announcing the giveaways, but for now we're using these moments with people who are showing interest on a deeper level, giving you guys the opportunity to find out more about these events and stuff like that. So in hopes that you guys will, turn on the light.
Yes, I just gave everybody our website, the official TeamBGV.com.
Yeah, I put it in the chat.
Okay. Go get you a little piece of merch, because we want y'all to represent at the honors the weekend. You want
I put
TeamBGV out. Anything that you do to support us, we are literally just using it to pour back into the community. As much as we can to offer, these things like this and educational tools that you can use this to further your career. So tonight was amazing. If nothing else, I hope everybody has an amazing night, and thank y'all again.
Love y'all.
Thank you guys.
Love y'all.
So
Good night.
Thank y'all so
it's
much.
okay, Katrina. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Everybody. We can't wait to meet y'all in the flesh. See y'all.
Same. All right.
Yes.
Now, camera got to end the call. Pam, you can start recording it now, boo.